And we are And we're back, guys. Welcome to Tennis in a Minute. I'm your host, Good Energy. We are here, the first slam of the season. We're going to take a look at this draw, and we're going to go through each matchup. As you guys know, there's never a script. I just hit record, and I give you the truth. So we're going to take a look here at some of the previous champions. The current reigning and defending champion, two-time champion, Aryna Sabalenka. We know that last year in the championship match, she defeated Queen in straight sets. Now, Queen recently talked about, and in 23, we know she took out Aryna Rybakina. She had to come back down a set. Ashley Barty won it in 22 against Danny Mel. And in 21, we know Osaka won it against Jennifer Brady. And for 2020, we saw big game Sofia Kenin win the final against Garbiñe Muguruza. But let's get it on, ladies and gentlemen, as the first matchup is big game Sofia Kenin and Coco. Now, it's no secret Coco's my pick to win the Australian Open. Before she won the United Cup with Team USA, she had odds of plus 550. After winning the United Cup, that dropped down to plus 350. They're now in the middle at plus 450. What's going on there, guys? Look, I like Coco to get past Sofia Kenin, and I like Coco to still win the Australian Open. Wong versus Paula Badosa. It's going to be a good matchup. In case you don't know, Paula Badosa is one of the few players I've ever seen in my life, along with Nadal, who is actually left-handed but can play right-handed. She's very talented, and she has asthma, but I think mentally and physically she's in a great space, and I like her to defeat Wong, ladies and gentlemen. Paula Badosa makes it out of the first round in a baselining thriller. Potapova gone wild. Listen, Tamara made it through qualifiers. She's a great clay player. She's trying to get back inside the top 30, that great French Open run a few years ago. But even after giving Ons a scare last year, was it, right? I like Potapova with the stronger opponents. Potapova gets the win, even though Tamara's in great form. Marie Buskova headband game. Greet Menin, Victoria Azarenka, Karolina Muchova, and Helena. All ladies I love, but listen, the tour is getting older and these younger, I talk about it all the time. It's a shame. And Mary Boo just got her first main tour championship a couple years ago in the Czech Republic. It's tough, guys. It's very tough to win a main tour title, and Mira's on the board already at 17. She's going to be 18 this year. I like Mary Boo, but Mira's going to be too strong in this one. Mary Boo's showing signs of aging. Mira gets the win. Bernarda Pera, American, taking on Tatiana Maria. Maria's going to make Bernarda Pera make shots, disciplined enough. She's going to beat you about midway, no man's land, defensive slices, and she'll do that same defensive slice 10 to 15 times if you can't be disciplined enough. Bernarda Pera, though, some of those shots she's going to put away, I'm going to take Bernarda Pera to get the victory in this match. If she can extend Maria behind that baseline, Maria's defense is just not going to work. She's going to give Bernarda Pera too many balls. However, Maria can beat Pera, but I'm going to go with Pera to win. Long head, don't care. Leylah Fernandez taking on Yulia Stardupseva. Yulia's a good shot maker. She's young, she's fast, she has a short center of gravity, she's very powerful. But I'm going to go with Leylah to get the victory here. I think she's played the tougher competition recently, overall for her career as well. I think Leylah, though, she can match the athletic ability of Stardupseva. And just anything she's doing inside the baseline to back up Yulia is going to help make her make mistakes. I like Layla to beat Starduseva. Tadoni taking on Kinwen Jung. Tadoni's a good shot maker. I think she plays her best tennis on clay, right? Without a doubt. Kinwen's, she's just versatile. She can beat you on clay. She's a gold medal winner this past summer in France on clay. She can play on hard. She's just dedicated and focused. I don't know how deep she's going to go without her coach here. I think if she runs into trouble where she has to problem solve on the fly, could be an issue, but she gets past Tadoni. Diane Perry, bonjour, comment allez-vous? The French woman taking on Dana Vekic. Now, Perry owns the head-to-head. Perry, I just think her serve, much like Katarina, it puts her on the back foot. Even though she's serving, she's on offense, that long wind-up, Dana Vekic is going to have a field day with that. I like Dana Vekic to even this head-to-head, and I think Dana Vekic and her backhand with that slow serve of Diane Perry, I just think Dana's gonna have a field day. I like Dana Vekic to defeat Diane Perry and tie this head-to-head up, and it's gonna be by way of brutal backhand. Jessica Buzas Monero, she's playing very well, guys. I mean, she beat Zachary at the United Cup. She's getting better and better. Now, I do think Cartel is playing well. She's playing very good. But I do think Buzas Monero, she's getting better, but I see a lot of holes in her game. I think she's got enough to get out of the first round against Cartel, but watch out. Yes, she did beat Zachary, but I see a lot of holes in her game she's gonna have to fix. I like Buzas to get the victory there. Julia Niemeyer taking on Maja Chawanleska. Now, or should I say Maya? Now, Maya, without a doubt, I've said she's my favorite player from Poland right now. She's playing solid tennis. This is going to be a tough match, but I'm going to go with Maya, the underdog, to defeat Julia. I just don't like what I see with Julia. She's just trying to hit her right forehand down the line. That's it. I don't know what happened to her variety. I'm going to go with Maya on the upset there. Ney Habino taking on Marta Kashuk. Marta owns the head-to-head. Ney, look, mid-range type of player, doesn't have a lot of power, defensive player, she can't put you away. She's going to give Marta plenty of opportunities to just have a field day here, but Marta's got to be patient. If she rushes some of these rallies, she'll make mistakes and Ney will hang around, but I like Marta to get the victory. Sloane Stephens taking on Aryna Sabalenka. They've played 4 times, and 3 of the 4 have literally gone to 3 sets. Sloane has been in position to defeat Sabalenka, but the problem with this matchup is I think Sabalenka starts slow. She figures out what Sloane's doing, and then she's able to come on and win these matches. If Sloane's going to beat Sabalenka, she's going to have to go. She's going to need a time machine. She's going to need a flashback to start using that athletic ability. When she plays Sabalenka, she's too flat-footed. Sloane just wants to camp out on the baseline and exchange ground strokes and go long rallies. Sabalenka's not going long rallies. I think Sabalenka defeats Sloane Stephens, but Sloane's probably going to keep it close. Dasha Seville. Trivia, guys. What was Daria's name before she got married? Taking on Anna Blinkova. Listen, I say it all the time. Blinkova is a good player, but she's not someone I would just pick to win a match. She makes too many mistakes, and this is my fair criticism. I think she's rarely in her best playing form or condition. Dasha is. She's a defensive player. She's going to go long rallies. She never gets tired. Short center of gravity. Very fast. Her speed's underrated. But I think Blinkova's just in a better form right now. I'll go with Blinkova to win, but not confident in picking Blinkova. She has too many flaws. Emma Raducanu taking on Ekaterina. This is going to be a really good matchup, guys. I do think that Emma, if she was in shape, and I just mean game form, she hasn't played. She's injury prone. Look, she's got back injuries every time I turn around. I think she got bit by an ant or a spider or something like that. She said she didn't even want to have the physio spray her down because she's scared to fail a doping test. Interesting. I'm going to go with Ekaterina on the upset, guys. The upset alert. I think Ekaterina's just a better tennis player for one. I think she's more experienced for two. Better serve for three. A lot more powerful. I'll take Ekaterina to send Emma Raducanu home and let her get ready for Singapore. Sabalenka taking on Caroline Dohide. If Caroline was active, I'd love to pick her in this match, but I think Sarah's going to cause the bigger, more stationary player a lot of problems here. I'm going to take Sabalenka on the upset over Caroline Dohide. Belinda Bencic taking on Jelena Ostapenko. This is going to be a good match, guys. A lot of fireworks in here, a lot of baselining. Belinda coming back from the baby. She's played tournaments. She's played lower level tournaments. She's playing these young, hungry ladies that want to come up. They want to get a name off of Belinda Bencic, i.e. Alicia Parks. Beat her in the final. Jelena has power. The problem with this matchup is Belinda wants to baseline aggressively too. And I think Belinda's ground strokes are going to give Jelena Ostapenko problems here. I'll take Belinda on the upset. Anna Bondar taking on Yafan Wang. It's going to be a good match. This is a tough one because Anna's looked good, but I don't like her Victoria Golubic style. It's one hand. You know, she's going to beat you with one hand, and I just don't like that. I do think if Bondar's, and she has looked good, if she plays how she should play, she should beat Yafan Wang. But I'm going to go with Wang on the upset, guys. That's the pick. Lucia Bronzetti, ciao bella, taking on Victoria Azarenka. Bronzetti's getting better and better. She's looked good. She's improved her power. She's improved her serve. We all know a few years ago she was on my double fault list, where Coco was not. I'm telling you guys, with Brad Gilbert, unbelievable. So a few years ago, for you guys that have been following the channel for a while, you know I had a double fault list, right? Favara was on that list. Linda Favertova was on that list. Bronzetti was on that list. Elisa Mertens was on that list. Coco was not on that list, ladies and gentlemen. Lucia was. I'm going to take Vika to get the victory here. It's a shame because Bronzetti's working on her game. She's getting better. I want to see her go deep in these tournaments. All around, her game looks much better, but Vika's too strong, especially this early in a slam where she plays so well here in Australia. Amanda Anisimova taking on Carly. Carly looked horrible against Kessler. If Amanda's any shell of what she's capable of producing, she beats Carly. I'll take Amanda Anisimova to get past Carly. And Carly's she's gonna play defensive. She's gonna get balls back, but I think Amanda gets up for this match. Amanda should win. Polina Kudermetova taking on Magdalena Frech. Gonna be a good match here. Magdalena all around is the more experienced player. She's a better shot maker. Polina does have good drop shots. Magdalena's put on some weight, guys. She's starting to make money here. If Polina gets to a drop shot, I think she can win service games. I think she can win points off of Magdalena. Excuse me, guys. But Magdalena, overall, she is the better player. This is a match that Magdalena should win. So we're going to go with Magdalena to get the victory here. Coco again, guys. It's going to be a Coco theme. I'm picking Coco to win the Australia cross court. Make Coco think, slow her down. But it's just not going to work. I like Coco Gauff to even up that series 2-2. Beatrice Haddad taking on as she is. Julia's doing well. She's active. She's playing good tennis. Beatrice, again, she's one of those players where she just, as big and powerful as she is, she doesn't have the strength to constantly put opponents away. And we all know she had her own scandal with PEDs. She got a big following. And even though she doesn't have the power to put opponents away, especially when we're talking about the top 20, 15, top 10, she's going to hang around in these rallies and give her opponents the opportunity to score. Julia's going to have her moments. And Beatrice, because she can't put you away, it leads to long matches. It leads to long first and second sets that go over in tie breaks. But Beatrice should have enough to get the victory. I like Beatrice Haddad to win. Leola Janjan. She's in good form. She come through qualifiers. Jody Burge does own the head-to-head. But Jody just hasn't looked good. Did you see that match against Leylah Fernandez against Jody? Leola's not Layla. I understand that. Right? I do think Leola is just in the better shape. Jody's coming off of an injury. She has struggled on the lower level, and so has Leola. But I'm going to go with Leola to even the head-to-head in this series. I think Leola's going to have the athletic edge. And again, I hope Jody's healthy. She has a great year. But right now, I think Leola's playing much better. I think she's playing deep with her backhand. And I think she's more athletic. So I think she should beat Jody Burge, who's just going to stay camped out. Very little movement. Jody's not even going to chase drop shots. I like Leola to win. Jessica, she's taking on Madison Keys. I think Madison's going to come out strong. I'll probably take Madison to win the first set in that match. But Maya Joint, the hometown favorite, she's going to have the crowd cheering for her. But for a young technical player that doesn't have the power, there's nothing she's going to be able to do to frustrate Pegula. She doesn't have the power, and she's a good shot maker, but we're talking about a much far superior player. And even though Maya's young, she's not really using that athletic ability. She's a good ball striker, and this is going to play into the hands of Pegula. Tailor-made matchup. I like Pegula to defeat Maya Joint. Madison Keys, speaking of her, I think she wins the first set against Pegula. Ann Lee, this is going to be a firefight. Very comparable games. The only problem is Ann Lee, she can't go long rallies at all. She's going to make mistakes. Match in Madison Keys, couple in Madison Keys' firepower, she's really going to make a lot of mistakes. I think Madison Keys defeats Ann Lee, and quite frankly, it could go 2 long sets. It could go 3. I'm not going to count Ann Lee out for winning a set because Madison Keys is playing the Adelaide Championship. I think Madison Keys wins this matchup. Just overall, she's going to be too strong. Her ground strokes, especially her forehand, it's a lot more accurate. You see Ann Lee make a lot of mistakes with her forehand, especially deeper in the rally. If you can get Ann Lee to step up inside the baseline, she's going to hit long. She has to fine-tune that forehand. But I want to talk a little bit about the Adelaide Championship. I do think that, and I've talked about, as the ladies get older in their upper 20s, their early 30s, the one advantage you have as an older player, especially when you're facing another older player comparable to your age, see Pegula being able to cover ground. I like Madison Keys to win the first set of that matchup. I like her to defeat Ann Lee. Aryna Evanesian taking on Yulia Putintseva. Now, Yulia owns a head-to-head they played a couple years ago. Yulia won that fairly easy. I do think Alina's come a long way since then. I think Evanesian's got a lot better stamina than Yulia. But Yulia's been playing a lot more tougher competition lately. I mean, play Sabalenka, the best player ranking-wise in the world, and you take her deep in that first set. Should be enough preparation to defeat Aryna Evanesian. However, though, I think Alina's a much better shot maker between the lines. She's a long rally player, good stamina, good defense. She can beat Yulia, but and we all know with the Katarina, they've played 5 times. Katarina's won 2 of them, and she's brought her deep into some deep tie breaks, some deep sets. And I think Katarina can beat Iga. I don't think Iga's in her best form, and a little shade with the handshake with Coco, right? A little shady. Coco came to her defense that she doesn't think she's a doper. But I think Iga was mad because Coco's doing that little shovel thing with her racket, just burying opponents. Iga took that personally, but I think Iga gets past Katarina. Marketa Vondrousova, Yana Fett. Yana Fett, I like. She come through qualifying. Marketa's going to have too much variety here. All Marketa has to do, and I don't want to make this sound easy for Marketa, but Marketa just has to serve clean. If she doesn't beat herself with double faults, Yana Fett will. Yana Fett's going to be down 15-30 on her serve consistently. Marketa's going to have to step up on her first return, second return points, as long as she's nailing, and she's left-handed. I like Marketa to defeat Yana Fett. Kimberly Burrell taking on Anna Kalinskaya. Anna hasn't really looked good lately. She hasn't played much. Her boyfriend's going through a lot. That leads to a lot of stress. You may not personally be going through something, but if your friend, your partner, your family members go Kimberly Burrell. Simple as that. But I wouldn't count Kimberly Burrell out. She's playing good tennis, but I followed her career a lot. Kaya should win that match. Jacqueline Christian, a lot of power there. She looked very tired. This is going to be a very interesting match for me against Camilla. Her stamina and her fitness is never in question. She takes care of her body. But Jacqueline is injured. I know she's injured. She doesn't look, and look, I've said this in the past, female tennis players recover quicker than any injured player in any other sport, including male sports. They recover so fast, but I'm going to go with Marchik on the upset. I don't think Jacqueline's healthy. Katie Volley-Nets, Rebecca Shramkova. This is going to be a good match. The only one downside about Rebecca, I think she plays one-handed a little too much for me, but I think she can beat Katie Volley-Nets. But the problem here is Katie, I think, is a better shot maker between the lines. I think Rebecca, for mentally power, that's going to be key here to dictate and control some of these rallies. But I love how Katie constructs and builds the point. I think she's a lot more level-headed. I think she's tougher mentally. And I'm going to go with the better shot maker. I'm going to take Katie Volley-Nets to beat Shramkova. Olga Danlovic, Alicia Parks, that's who she got the record serve against at the US Open a few years back. Ransa Roos. It's a tough match. We got two stakes. Olga's not the type of player, though, to go long rallies consistently. If you can get balls back against Ransa Roos, she's going to make mistakes. But Olga's not necessarily that type of defensive player. I think she has been in the past if it's clay, right? But I think Ransa Roos, she'll bring that. Caroline Garcia, she loves to come forward. She plays vertically, very awkward style. But I just think Osaka, I think the injury's not going to be an issue here. I think she's going to have enough to get past Caroline Garcia. I think she, by this time, especially with Patrick in her corner, we all know what Caroline Garcia is going to do. Easy to game plan against. I think Patrick will prepare to Osaka properly, and I think Osaka defeats Caroline Garcia. Emma Navarro has not looked good, but she's dominated Peyton Stearns. But she hasn't looked good. Peyton Stearns, just watching her destroy Zachary, a top 10 player any day of serves like she. I think she's going to start to turn this tide here. I think Peyton Stearns is a lot more athletic than Emma Navarro. I think she's jumping on those second return serves like she did with Zachary on all of her opponents. As long as she doesn't tire out with double faults, I'm going to take Peyton Stearns to upset Emma Navarro. Karolina Muchova taking on Nadia Podoroska. I think Nadia, she gets tired after the first set. It's as simple as that. If this were clay, she can conserve energies. It's a slow surface. It's going to favor the older player, Karolina. I like Karolina to defeat Nadia. Victoria Golubic taking on Elisa Mertens. Elise in a battle with Kessler McCartney right now. And Victoria's been hot, right? She ended last year winning a main tour championship. I just think the variety is just something I can't pass upon. I'll take Mertens to defeat Golubic, the one-handed player. Camila Osorio, a very good defender. This is a tough matchup for both ladies. We saw Camila get Iga, what I want to say, was it 24, 23? She's always Zachary moving forward on tour. I'm going to go with Zachary to get the victory there. Camila is a good defensive player, but Zachary's going to have a lot more power that Camila I don't think will be able to match. I like Zachary to defeat Osorio. Danka Kovinic taking on Lulu. I think Kovinic, I think she should beat Lulu. I'm going to go with Kovinic to beat Lulu, but Lulu's, how about this? We'll split it. We're going to take that match to go 3 sets, and I'm going to lean with Kovinic to edge it. I don't think Lulu's in that Wimbledon form as of last year. Kovinic's a good player. No, I'm going with Lulu. I think Lulu can beat Kovinic. Lulu should win. Lulu to beat Kovinic. Veronika Kudermetova, I'll take her over Olivia Kadecki. She's got to get things back on track, and she will here. Nuria Diaz taking on Jovic. Jovic is a top American prospect, right? Coco, we were disappointed when she didn't win the US Open Junior. On the rebound, you might be able to sneak a win past her. But I'm going to go with Nuria to defeat Jovic. Lena Rybakina, I think she's a sleeper in this tournament, guys. She's a really, really big sleeper. Quietly, no one's talking about how she just crept up past Can Win Jump. And she's throwing a fit here with Stefano. She's literally saying she's going to boycott. She's got to focus on tennis. She's getting caught up in too much nonsense. I mean, what's going on with those two? And anyone want to elaborate? Because the reality here is before you're in your 30s and get it together. You only got a few more years. Kamila Rakimova taking on Ludmila. Kamila hasn't looked good, and it's probably going to take her a few more tournaments to get back to where I've seen her level is. I think she's very tough mentally. She holds a lot of that in. And I just think she's going to have too much power for Kamila here. Way too much on the forehand side. I'll take Ludmila to win. Angelina taking on the best shot maker in the world. Now, Angelina, she's going to go Angelina. The problem with this matchup is Angelina's, I mean, you can say that I wouldn't necessarily say she's a great defensive player, but she's a long rally player, right? It takes her 10 shots to set up a point and win a point. That's going to be a nightmare. It could go either way in the world. Too many opportunities for Ons. I like Ons to defeat Angelina. Mayar Sharif taking on Diana. This is a match I'm looking forward to. I do think it could go either way. Without a doubt, Diana's the better hard court player. But I think Mayar is going to be able to match the power of Diana. I don't like Mayar outside of clay. I just don't. I think she slides well on clay. She's a tall woman, and she could be exploited with that anyway. I think she can overpower Diana in some of these exchanges, and she can make Diana make mistakes. Diana Snyder taking on Elizabeth. This is going to be a good matchup. Really good matchup, because I think Diana, at this point of her career, she's playing a lot better than Elizabeth. A lot of the younger players are picking Diana to win as a sleeper. Okay, so you have to beat Elizabeth then. Haley Baptiste taking on Laura Sigmund. This is going to be a good match. The matchmakers are just, I think they're being funny here. They're going to put one of Coco's good friends, Laura Sigmund. Daria Snyder, she made it through qualifier. She's playing solid tennis. Could this be an upset? Danielle's not in good form. If you ask me, I think she's great for the sport. She got a good personality. But if you ask me, she was a little too happy at something in Jolly. I don't know if she's in form, but I'm going to take her to get past Daria. She should have enough power. Talia Gibson, a lot of people are happy she's in, taking on Zeynep Samez. I talked about Samez as a good shot maker. I talked about her as someone you want. Gibson. So I'm going to take Samez. I like her game. She's consistent, doesn't make a lot of mistakes. She's tough mentally, and she's kind of a bit of a diva. I like Samez to win. Elina Svitolina taking on Sorana Cirstea. Sorana hasn't played, and she hasn't looked good. Svitolina, who knows? Congratulations to Gail. As I said, Svitolina used to be one of my favorite players. I just don't like her personality as a person lately. I just think she's got too much hate. I mean, I don't know what it is. I just think she's just mad all the time, and I don't really like her anymore as a player. She used to be one of my favorite players. I just don't, but she should have enough to get the win there. Svitolina off in terms of the head-to-head. Now, yes, qualifiers don't count as official tour matches when you're comparing head-to-head, but I'm gonna go with Isla on the upset. I think she'll get up. She'll have the home crowd backing her. I like Isla to send Aston Kruger home, but Tomova's not gonna get tired like that. She can go 3 sets, and she can overpower Dasha. I'm gonna take Victoria Tomova to defeat Dasha Kina. That's gonna be a first round upset. Renata Zarazova taking on Taylor Townsend. Uchima taking on Magda Linette. I don't think Lynette's going to have an issue with Uchima. I think Lynette's going to have good variety at the net. Uchima, again, a lot of the Japanese players, I think they play well inside the baseline. I don't think a lot of them have great range or depth on their shots. and therefore I think Lynette's going to be able to just mix this up. Short balls, long balls, cross court. As long as she serves well, she should hold consistently against a Japanese player. So that's going to be my pick there. So far, guys, before we move on to the next matchup, make sure you like the video, show some love, hit the super thanks. Just doing things different. I normally break them down into like 4s or 8s per video, 8 matches per video. We're just doing one big video, guys. Just listen, click, you can reference whichever player you want and enjoy. Wong, doubles junior slam champion, taking on Julia Grabher. She's getting older, right? But she's powerful. I just feel she's a tough player. She's mentally tough. She's physically tough. Wong, though, I don't like one-dimensional players, right? If her serve's off, she's going to be behind the rally. Her bread and butter's her left down the line, and I don't like one-dimensional players. I think her fatigue is awful, but I think Wong's got enough to beat Julia. I'll take Wong to defeat Julia. Jasmine Paolini taking on Saja Wei. She's played very well. She's looked good. She beat break. Saja broke back. Sash got another break. Saja broke back. The surface level, you know, Kessler's playing a lot better tennis. She's a lot younger. She's a good shot maker. She's mentally tough. We saw her win, Cleveland last year. I like Kessler. I really do. I think she's got solid fundamentals. She can blast off an ace when she needs one, big time. Zhang Shui, I remember she was an alternate that year that, I want to say that was a year that Osaka withdrew. It was a year that I think Barty won it. So she's very experienced, but I think Aryna Andreeva, a lot more power. She's got a much better forehand in my opinion, especially when you factor in the power. I think she serves better. Aryna Andreeva to beat Zhang. Iga Swiatek. Now, I do want to talk about the few players that can really win this tournament. Iga Swiatek is now tied with Coco as the second and third best options to win the Australian Open. Plus 450. If you put $1 on Iga Swiatek, you will collect $5.50. So you get your dollar back, you'll win $4.50. I think Iga Swiatek has a very easy draw. I think if she can win the Australian Open, it's going to be great media. It's going to be great press. She's been getting dragged by players, Hall of Famers, analysts, casual fans. Iga Swiatek's taking a beating. And I personally say it time and time again, and I feel it. I don't think Iga will be playing into her 30s. I think once she starts to slow down, that negative feedback is going to be too much. She's going to be like, I'm done with it. She mentioned recently that this whole scandal, she doesn't think that, you know, if a mistake like this happens again, she doesn't think she could go through all of this stuff. You know, the media hype, the criticism. I think she's going to walk away before 30. The tour could really use Iga winning the Australian Open. I think it would kind of help her image and say, look, hey, look, I told you I was clean. I told you I did all this naturally. Everyone has their opinion. Again, I just, no matter what you tell me, I just thought it was suspect as someone that's watched her matches for her to have that impressive 22 season after being so bad at the WTA finals in 21. I think it's suspect. But nonetheless, can Iga win it? Of course she can. She's that good enough to go all the way, especially with that easy draw. Let's do a quick recap, guys. I like Taylor Townsend to get past Renata Zarazoa. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. I think Taylor should have the variety. She's comfortable playing Renata, and Renata just hasn't looked good lately. I like Magda Linette to get past Uchima. I just think Linette overall, she's had success against Uchima, but I think Uchima relies too much on the short ball. I don't think she's got the range or the variety to really hang in the pocket with Magda Linette. So I like Lynette to come through victorious there. And I want to take a look at, just kind of recap some of these matches I've talked about, because right now my microphone is acting up a little bit. So I just want to make sure you guys have a lot of these matchups that I've already discussed. So let's see what we got here. Wang and Julia Grabher. Even though Julia owns the head-to-head here, I do think that I think she's aging. I think she's slowing down a bit, and I think her game just relies a little bit too much on her power. But I like Wang's left down the line. I don't think Julia's going to have an answer for that at all. No, I just don't think so. Jasmine Paolini, talked about this matchup previously. I do think that, look, Wei came through qualifier. She plays well, but she gets tired. You know, that match against Sasnovich, she got really, really tired. Sash was up a break in the first set, blew it. She won the second set, but she was up a break twice in the third set. Couldn't close it out. And Wei has her lapses and games and sets where she's trying to recover. And I don't think Jasmine's going to need any time at all to recover. I think she's going to play just fine. And this is a match Jasmine is going to be a little bit just too superior when it comes to battling. Zhang Shui taking on Kessler. Talked about this again. I think Kessler is just going to be too strong, too good. Zhang Shui, she'll have her opportunities with her short play and her short balls. She's just so good at doubles that if she's anywhere near the net, she's going to win those points easily. But Kessler likes deep balls. She likes to play deep, and I think this is a matchup that McCartney-Kessler should win. She's in good form. She's actually giving Elisa Mertens a run for her money now. She just won the first set. Kessler should win. Xia Zhang, veteran Chinese player, taking on Aryna Andreeva. Now, Zhang, I remember, well, she's a top 30 player. I remember she was filling in for the WTA finals as an alternate. I think Barty won that year. Very good player. But I think Aryna Andreeva's deep ball, her power, her youth. Remember, I say it all the time, tennis is a young lady sport. And Aryna Andreeva, she's just going to have so many advantages in this matchup. And I like her to defeat Zhang. So good win for Aryna. Make it to the second round, get some points, get some game checks, see if she can compete with Mira. Again, Iga has the opportunity to win this whole thing. I don't think she will, though. Coco's my pick. I've talked about it numerous times as to why I think Coco will win it. Simple. I think Coco's in better form than any lady on tour right now. I don't think anyone can beat Coco in straight sets. If you're playing Coco and you happen to go to 3, I just think her problem solving right now, her mental focus, her athletic edge, her defense, she's just too tough to be beaten in straight sets. And if you're going 3 for her, she's going to prevail with all of her skills, with her problem solving, with her new grip, with her confidence, with her serving. She's not making a lot of mistakes, and she's winning 50% of her return points, so she's going to break you. That's exactly what that means. Will Sabalenka defend her title is the main question. I don't think so as well. I mean, when you win that first one, that's always the hardest. When you win your second one, you got something to prove. But your third one, and I've had title runs where you win the first, you win the second, and the third one, you just get a little complacent. You get a little unfocused and sloppy. I see Sabalenka is focused. She's always focused, but I don't think she's gonna win for a third time. Her draw last year was too easy. She's gonna have to play defense, and if she runs into Coco, of course, Coco beats her. Tennis in a minute. Thank you guys for the love and support. Enjoy, like the video, show some love, and we'll be back to cover the Australian Open. See you guys soon.